The next animation you're going to need to work on is going to be first person fire-2. This animation is going to vary a lot depending on what you plan on doing with your weapon. If you want to be able to throw a grenade, you'll be calling it first person throw-grenade. Or if you want a secondary fire, you'll call it fire-2, and then you'll animate whatever you want your weapon to do when you fire your secondary weapon. Or if you want to use iron sights like we're going to do in this tutorial, you'll name it fire-2, and that's what we're going to do. So if you're doing iron sights, then basically you need a 15 frame animation. Let's actually just delete that, of simply looking down the sights. So turn auto key on. Let's see. Alright, line that up. Okay. Set a frame there. Now, I like to have some slight motion, sort of right in here in the middle, just very, very slight upward motion. Maybe even more slight than that. And the reason is that it just looks awkward when it's completely still. But you want very, very little motion because it's going to be moving very fast at 15 frames. So that's pretty much it for this animation. So save it, export it. First person fire-2. It does need to be a JMA. And I am not going to do the melee animation in this tutorial. If you want to do the melee animation, it's just first person space melee. It'll need to be saved to the JMA or a JMM, it doesn't matter. And you can open up the importer again to look at how many frames they've got. And just, you know, it works the same way that all the other animations do. So for this tutorial, we now have all the data files we need. We've got all our animations there. We got the texture, FP model. Okay, I did remember one important thing. I had you name, or before I named the UMP, the texture UMP_45. Textures cannot have numbers in them, in the name, so you need to change that to just UMP. And then you need to open your model. Which is going to take a while. And you'll need to open up your material editor and change the bitmap to the new, to the one with the new name so that it knows where it is. Here, it should all be set to UMP45 still for you, so go ahead and select this one, copy UMP, open, paste it there, 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 and there. And then JMS exporter, and export your model, and go ahead and save it over that one, and then do it again for the first person model. I already fixed that, so I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, so now go to your root directory and open up Tool, and you're going to want to type Tool, Bitmaps, Weapons, \UMP45, \Bitmaps. Wait for that to compile. Then open up Cornman or Gorilla or whatever you're using. Do New, Shader Model, click Simple Parameterization. Choose whatever material you want it to be. I'm going to use Metal Thin. And then here in Base Map, navigate to, you can click this button to navigate to your weapon, or you can just type it in. Whatever you want to do. You need to find the base bitmap that you're using. Copy the name because it needs to be named the same thing. Save, yes. Weapons, UMP45. Create a new folder called shaders. Name it. Close that for now. Now type tool, model, weapons, UMP45, and compile that. Okay. And then do the same thing. Just hit up to bring up your previous command. Same thing, add a \FP. That'll compile your first person model. And then tool, animations, weapons, UMP45, and all of those compiled fine. So we're not going to worry about the collision geometry right now because I tried it and it's messed up, so I'll have to fix it. But it's not a big deal. I don't even do collision geometry on most of my weapons, so it really doesn't matter. Alright, go ahead and open up Cornman again and create a new weapon file. So you're going to want to check, first you're going to want to change the bounding radius to 0.6. Now you're going to want to set your weapon model and then okay, here in attachments I'm going to go to light, and we are going to, no, you know what, I'm not even going to worry about that one. This tutorial is getting too long as it is. So scroll down to here. Now let's see, scale, put in 1, and then prevents grenade throwing, and secondary trigger overrides grenades. Label, I'm going to put AR for now. And let's see, don't need any of the heat options. I'm not giving it a zoom. You can change your auto assist, your aim assist options here. If you want aim assist, just compare it to an existing weapon is your best bet. So let's see, don't need any of that. Alright, first person model. You're just going to set this to the file path for your first person model, FP and FP. Uh-oh. Oh. Alright. Your first person model, when you compile it, it's going to name it FP. It's no longer going to be named UMP45, so just remember that. Now, your animations. Let's see. There you go, model animations. And the HUD interface, we are just going to set to the assault rifle. Alright, and we're not going to worry about that for now. So, let's see, weapon type undefined, that's fine. Alright, magazines, you're going to want to add a magazine. Rounds total initial is the number of rounds you'll have when you first pick the weapon up. I'm just going to set it to 200. Maximum 400. You can put it to whatever you want. Now, rounds loaded maximum. Typically, the UMP45 is going to have 25 round magazines, so I'm going to go ahead and put that. Reload time is about 3 seconds. If you want to find out exactly what your reload time is, go to your reload animation and divide the number of frames you have by 30, and that'll give you the number of seconds. Okay, so let's see. Triggers. Add a trigger. This is going to be your primary trigger. On your primary trigger, you'll want to check projectiles client side only. The UMP45 fires at 10 rounds per second. So set that. Acceleration time you don't need. Deceleration time you don't need. Basically, those options are for if you have two different fire rates here. You can set it to where it takes a certain amount of time to go from its lower fire rate to its higher fire rate, so that if you hold down the trigger, it increases until it reaches the maximum. So set magazine to primary. Rounds per shot 1. Minimum rounds loaded. I don't think we even need that. Rounds between tracers 2. Alright, so error. I usually base all of these error things off of the assault rifle. I'll just make them slightly less, slightly less inaccurate. You don't need charging. Okay, projectiles per shot is going to be 1. Error angle, I'm just going to say 1 to 4. Again, I just compared that to the assault rifle. As for the projectile, we're going to use the assault rifle's projectile. Oops, backslash bullet. Okay. Firing effect, add, set both of these to 1, change this to effect. And again, we're going to use the firing effect from the assault rifle. So weapons, assault rifle, what is it? It's going to be effects and then fire bullet, I think. But without that space right there. Okay. Firing damage, basically that's going to control, like, there's usually a slight shaking when you fire a weapon, or it slows you down, or stuff like that. It actually works by using a damage effect. We're just going to use the assault rifles, but you can make your own if you want to. So save this as weapons, UMP 45, and just call it UMP 45. Okay, so if you're interested in how to make your own custom projectiles or firing effects or muzzle flashes or whatever, then message me and I'll see about making a more specific tutorial on that. But for now, I'll go ahead and add another trigger. This is your secondary. Now, the secondary only needs, like, pretty much the only options you need to set here is your rounds per second. That's going to be 30 and 30. And that's how your iron sights work, is what that's controlling. So that should be it for the .weapon tag. So go ahead and exit out of that and save. Now you're going to want to create a new item collection. Add, set the weight to 100. Choose weapon. And then just navigate to your .weapon file that you just created. Now save as. There's a couple of places you can save this. If you want to, you can put it in item collections, single weapons. I personally like to put it in the folder with my weapon. That way, if I release the tags, it's all together already.